So my name is Susanna Dalais, and I have been in Mauritius for almost 22 years. I came here to work and met my Mauritian husband and fell in love, and then I've just been here ever since. I have 3 daughters. My practice area is in economics, and I was working in corporate finance. And then together with my husband, we have started some other things. And so now I serve on the boards of a school called Lighthouse Primary and Secondary School, the board of the Good Shop, and also still on the board of a management company called Loita Management Services.
Wow, that's
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah, that's quite a lot of things that you do. And can
Yeah.
you tell us more about your job and how it's like?
Okay. So job is an interesting word because I'm actually not employed by anyone. I don't get a salary, but I'm busy all the time. And so a few of those things I just named of being a director on a board are I do it for no money, and it takes up my time and my professional space, but I do it because I believe in the organizations, and
Right.
I can give my skills to those. Sometimes when you're a board director, it is also paid, and but you're not actually an employee of the company. So people that work on boards of companies actually kind of do something called governance. So they are kind of like the caretakers of the organization. They look over the big picture, strategy, risks, making sure, they're like a bit of a double check on the main management of the company, people that are going there every day and actually doing a lot of what's called the executive leadership, who are employees of the company. So I don't know if that makes clear what I do.
Wow,
Just that's the
yeah.
general description of a board director, but the different organizations I'm with are in different areas.
Okay, well, that's very interesting the way you explain it as caretakers. That's nice. And could you tell us a bit about what led you to become a board director, and maybe about your journey so far?
Sure. So 2 of those organizations I just mentioned, my husband and I actually founded. So we're the kind of creators of the company. We set it up, we incorporated it. In some cases, we've donated the initial startup capital to get things going.
Right.
And so those, sorry, your original question was
about your journey so far.
how did we do
Where you
that?
are?
Yeah, the way that I got to become a director is because we founded it, but we didn't want to be direct employees of either the school or the organization. So we quickly looked for other people to help us leave the organization, to become the employees, to set it all up. So that's how I got to be in those things. But if you're asking what was the journey that started me there, I guess I should start by the other board, the management company. It's part of a financial group that focuses on Africa. And I was actually working in a company in Johannesburg that is like a subsidiary of that whole group of companies called the Loita Group. It's actually named after a forest in Kenya where you've lived as well.
Wow.
And there's an office in Nairobi. And so the way I got there was, my background is in economics, international economics, and in particular African studies. So my kind of geographical focus area of interest was Africa. It is still. And so that's how I came to be involved with that company. And then we had an incorporation here in Mauritius, and that's how I came to come here and work in strategic management for them.
Okay.
And then when I eventually stopped working as an employee for that company, I stayed on the board as a non-executive director. I stopped working because I became a mom, which was also a super important profession in my life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
That
that's
is a really interesting journey. And yeah, you had priorities along the way. Could you tell us what you enjoy the most about what you do?
Okay. I love seeing light bulbs go off in people's heads. And I love seeing an actual impact on people's lives. Like if this organization that I started weren't there, what wouldn't be happening? So I guess in short, like for example, for the Good Shop, it is the Good Shop slogan is basically give, shop, change lives. So changing lives is something that we expect. So I think that's probably the thing that I like most is the stories in all those organizations where actual lives have been changed.
right.
That's what really motivates me. Either people having an education they would not have received before, if this wasn't there, people having a job that they wouldn't have had before, people having opportunities or meeting people they wouldn't have known before if that organization wasn't there. And hearing those testimonies is really important.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really very nice. And finally, what is your advice to the next generation?
Yeah, I was saying I have a lot of, it's hard to pick one thing because I deal with young people a lot and I love talking to them. So I have a lot to say probably, but I think if I had to narrow it down to one piece of advice, it would be on really encouraging them to understand who they are, their purpose, their identity, what they think about God, their relationship with God maybe, and really holistically who they are and being strong in that. Because then everything else is kind of details and it will work as long as your own character and how you treat other people is solid. You can't fail. You can't, yeah, you really can't. So I really strongly encourage them to think as much, if not more, about those things and reflecting themselves as opposed to just revision and tuition. And that might sound strange from somebody who started a school. I definitely believe in being really academically stretched as far as you can go and really getting all your potential. It's just that I think sometimes young people feel too pressured in this area and doesn't allow them to really actually really learn in a different way, learn about themselves and the world around them, how to actually have relationships and how to serve other people. So yeah, that would be my advice. And then the more well you are in your own skin, the better you will do traditional things like school and grades.